Hi, I'm a frog. As ridiculous as it can be, I still love Halo 2 even on Legendary, and after spending almost a year doing Halo 1 speedrunning, I decided to give Halo 2 a shot and see if I could get the Monopolized achievement on MCC for beating Halo 2 on Legendary in under 3 hours. Make no mistake though, I'm a Halo 1 speedrunner. I am not a Halo 2 runner. To get Monopolized, I had to start almost from scratch with not much of an idea of what I was doing. So in this video, we'll go through level by level and keep track of my times throughout. Like always, I'll have a video linked in the description that shows my runs for each level with no commentary or edits. Let's hop in. We start, of course, with Cairo Station. I've always been good at this level casually, so my strategy here was to play it like I normally do and just throw in a few small skips here and there. Like at the very start. After the Covenant blow open the first door, instead of sitting and fighting the few waves, I just ran through behind them. In the next room, you can do a weird jump that I messed up a few times to get to this platform area and run past most of this encounter with one elite standing in your way. The first hangar fight isn't too bad. This is the level's grenade tutorial, so you have a ton of grenades up top, so I just spammed grenades and noob combos. The second hangar is probably the toughest part of the level, at least for me. You want to carry a second plasma pistol upstairs because in this hangar you don't have a ton of grenades and the chance of you running through your first plasma pistol is very high. The last wave always has 2 white elites who don't die from sticks and a gold sword elite, so having a plasma pistol for these 3 is obviously ideal. From this point on, Cairo was straightforward enough. I just took my time clearing each encounter. In this room, after killing everyone, I jumped up and through the window to skip a bit of walking and a couple spawns. I died here because I thought I landed a headshot, but did not in fact. Then I had to revert again because I threw a frag by accident instead of a plasma. Not my best sequence. Later on, I spawn killed a few drones. That was cool. Then a few backsmack sticks and noob combos later, I had beaten Cairo Station in under 10 minutes with a time of 9:50. Good start. Next up, the level that everyone knows how to speedrun. I've seen old outskirts guides from guys like Naked Eli where they go left and do some weird platforming to get on the roofs, but nowadays runners just grenade jump up top. Once we're on the rooftops, we get to do some roof running, and this skips over half of the mission. We don't have the holdout section in the first area, or Sniper Alley, or the streets after that with even more waves of Covenant. This roof running is one of the best time saves in all of Halo because of how easy it is to learn and how much it skips. Once I got to the Hotel Zanzibar, I fell off and took out the Covenant. I'm not good at sword flies and sword canceling, but if I was, I would want to bait the elite into pulling out his sword. When I revisit Halo 2 speedrunning in the future, that'll be what I do. After fighting through one more Covenant squad, I run to a ghost and then we do some driving. All you're doing here is driving and hoping you don't die.
Get on board. That bridge is the most direct route to the city center.
Once inside the tunnel, a Warthog spawns that you want to take because with the Marines on board soaking up damage, it's a lot easier to survive than if you're just in a ghost. But from there, it's easy. You just drive to the end, and unless you get super unlucky, you don't have to worry about dying. My outskirts time ended up being 4 minutes and 44 seconds, bringing us to 14:34 in total. Outskirts was easy. The next level I was very worried about. In full game runs, from what I've seen, Metropolis is a bit of a run killer. So you're supposed to get in the tank at the start, but there's actually a Warthog hidden in the back that I got in instead. You may think the tank is safer, but driving through the bridge in the Warthog was very easy. But then we get into the tunnel where we have to do one of the dumbest strats I've ever had to do in a run, which is drive through all the enemies and hope we don't get unlucky and die, which I actually managed to pull off. We keep driving in this Warthog past the section with the Gosshog in the next area until we get to the 2 wraiths outside of the Marines holding out. I drove into the left wraith and boarded it. After getting in this wraith, runners will start shooting the other wraith to blow it up, and then you kill some ghosts before they get dropped off by a phantom, and that's this area. There's a really cool early scarab board that I'd been practicing to do in this run. You grenade jump onto this beam thing, then do another jump at a specific time to get onto the scarab early, where you can then get to a weird spot on the front and take out the pilots. I got into position, did my grenade jump, and realized somehow the beam had gotten knocked over and I couldn't do the scarab board. Instead of restarting, since I had done everything else to that point about as well as I could, I decided to try and handle the scarab how you're supposed to, clearing everything as efficiently as I could, hopping in, killing some elites, and finishing Metro with a 7:21, putting my total time at 21 minutes and 55 seconds. 3 levels down, and next up, the level that confused everyone who skips cutscenes. On Arbiter, I'll be honest, I pretty much just winged this level. I started by taking a beam rifle and killing all my allies like you're supposed to in a speed run. This skips a lot of dialogue. Then I ran past the first group of heretics, which prevents all the other heretic spawns before the elevator. In the hangar, I made a dash to the button to open the doors and let the allied phantom come in. So far, everything, if I'm not doing a trick called hangar skip, is about right, but then this is where my run went off the rails a bit. You're supposed to be by this door as it opens and then run by the heretics to come through it. I was out of position and got obliterated by some other enemies that spawned to my right. So I decided to hang back a bit and kill everybody before making my way down. Then in the next hallway, I just YOLO'd it, and after getting through, I took advantage of a mechanic called head glitching. Basically, enemies can't see you if they can't see your head, so you can stick your head into a wall or a box and effectively be invisible. After feeling safe, I did some more on-the-fly running without much of a clue of what I was doing. If you're watching this video because you're like, Frog is a speedrunner, so let me learn from him, let me tell you that I am not who you want to learn Halo 2 from. At the end of the level, you hop in a Banshee and you're supposed to fly around and look for the heretic leader, but if you know where to go, you can just fly straight to the end, get out, and end the mission a bit early. My Arbiter time ended up being 5:02, which isn't the best, but I'll take it. That puts my total time at 26:57. Next up, one of the longest levels in the game. The Oracle is really long and really boring. In the first room where you see the holographic heretic and the flood show up, I platformed up above to try and kill some of the infection forms. Then it was time for the longest elevator ride of my life. All I did was carbine flood before they jumped down and use a sword on any who made it through. This elevator ride isn't very hard and it takes over 5 minutes, so it's really just boring. The next room is less boring but still not the best, where you hold out from a few waves of flood and heretics. To this point in the run, I basically just did a casual playthrough. After fighting outside and into the room where the heretic goes behind the force field, I did an actual speedrun trick following the cutscene. You're supposed to take an elevator up to cut the cable holding up the station. Instead of riding the elevator up, we can press the button from the back, press it again, and stand under it as it comes down, crushing us and launching us up. This looks cool, but the main benefit is that it gives us invincibility for the remainder of the mission. So you'll notice from here on out that I'm not taking any damage. It should be noted that this is an MCC trick that does not work on classic versions of Halo 2, but if you have MCC, you can try it yourself. The other part of the trick is that you have to fall down the elevator shaft at the right time. If you go too early, you die from the fall timer, and if you go too slow, the elevator spawns and blocks the shaft, but the button to lower it doesn't work, so you're screwed. From here, Oracle is easy because obviously I don't have to worry about dying, so bada bing, bada boom, I beat the Oracle in 17:59, getting us to 44 minutes and 56 seconds in total. This level was weird and boring, but the next is weird and cool. Delta Halo's a fun one. At spawn, you take the ODST's battle rifle because the SMG is worthless, shoot some grunts and run by everything, making sure to take out a Jackal sniper along the way too. We run until we hit a trigger, then we run back. It's really easy to platform up and on top of the map where you're not supposed to go. We run across this hill until we come to the Forerunner structure in the bridge. You're supposed to press a button in the building to lower the bridge, but you have to fight through enemies and some more spawn, and it's a whole ordeal. So instead, we grab a ghost and set up for the gap jump. Easy enough. From this point, there's an old route you may have seen that involved driving past some enemies and praying you don't die, but instead we can just turn around and drive up this hillside. There's a lot of driving where you're not supposed to go and hitting triggers and trying not to flip or fall timer yourself. It's not that hard to learn, and this is one of my favorite levels to attempt, so give it a shot yourself sometime. We come back down outside of the last building with the Honor Guard elites. I cleared them out, giving me a Delta Halo time of 4 minutes and 53 seconds and a total time so far of 49:49. Delta Halo is easy, the next level not so much. I hate regret. As discussed on my video about which Halo level is the toughest, I think this one's difficulty flies under the radar a bit because of Gravemind. After getting outside, I had to pick off some Jackal snipers. Nothing too bad, I know where they all spawn, so alright. In runs now, they do a sword fly and some other stuff to skip past all of this. I saw Naked Eli's old video, he did a crazy grenade jump. I decided to just play through this opening casually, and as you can see, I'm making my way through just fine. I don't even know where I just got shot from. The gondola ride, like the Oracle elevator, there isn't much to it, it's just long and boring, but easy enough to, you have got to be I've complained about this room a lot in the past, and in a casual run, I would spend a solid 10 to 15 minutes here, but as you can see, I learned that you can literally just run straight through it. He just swam through the elevator. From here on out, I just played this level casually. I had a couple more unfortunate deaths that set me back a bit. Thankfully though, there's no more sniper jackals the rest of the level, so I don't have to worry about any more unexpected snipes. The regret boss fight is god-awful. I died quite a few times. Eventually, I did manage to take him out, which was a huge relief because I was worried I'd be fighting him forever. My regret time ended up as 24:23 for a total so far of 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 12 seconds. Now over halfway through the game, we're on pace, but we still got a ways to go. Next up is the Library 2 Electric Boogaloo, aka Sacred Icon. Much like the Library speedrun, this level mostly just consists of running through Forerunner hallways. When you get to the gondola, you can just ignore the Enforcer and activate activated, so that's time save. After crossing over, you want to kill this enforcer as fast as possible to open the door to the next section and make a break for it. When I was a kid, I would leave the enforcer alive and hide because the flood scared me, and I would never progress in this level. A little bit further on, you get the shotgun, but unfortunately it's the Halo 2 shotgun, and it really sucks. The Halo 2 flood are also stronger and faster than CE flood, so instead of trying to outrun them, there were a few parts where I just took my time killing them. My favorite part of the level is when you finally get a sword and can drop the shotgun. After getting outside, you fight some more flood in the snow, then have a long holdout section that takes a few minutes and the level ends. I don't like Sacred Icon, and I just ran through it once. I was fine with my time. It was a 15:43, which puts me at 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 55 seconds in total. But listen, if you like gondolas and waiting around, you'll love the next mission. Quarantine Zone was not my favorite level to speedrun. We grab a ghost at the start, and this is what we'll be in almost the entire level. At least we have epic Marty music playing. A little ways in, we're supposed to get out, but it's really easy to get through anyway. That flip was totally on purpose. At this part, I guess I skipped a trigger because there's supposed to be a lot of flood you have to camo pass, but none of them spawned. This didn't affect me being able to complete the level though, so whatever, I'll take it. We do some more driving until we get to this gondola. You're supposed to hang out on this thing and fight a bunch of flood, or you can run to the back and do some very easy platforming to get inside the ceiling of it and hang out where the flood can't see you. Then you wait. And wait some more, and more, and more, until after over 5 minutes of waiting, you get to the library, and that's Quarantine Zone in 8:34 for a total time so far of 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 29 seconds. The last couple levels were easy enough, so surely the next will be too, right?
Wrong!
Gravemind starts with one of the hardest rooms in the entire game where there's a decent chance of being insta-killed as soon as you spawn in. If you just go forward, you can get into cover at the very start though. After taking out the first set of brutes and grunts, there's a despawn thing I did where you go to this spot and wait a bit, and you prevent some of the enemies from spawning in, skipping waves. But afterwards, you have more Covenant to take out, except you still only have Needlers and a plasma rifle, so this part really sucks. After you've killed enough of this wave, Carbine brutes spawn in, and the level gets way easier. Once you grab one of their carbines, taking out the rest of the enemies is very simple. All you gotta do is land a few headshots. Gravemind is my favorite level in the whole franchise, so for the next few hallways and rooms, I just played it like I always do, not too worried about going fast as much as just not making mistakes. For whatever reason, I had a really rough time in this fight and died a few times. I don't know why. I've never struggled with this before, but whatever. But for the most part, it was fine. In the prison, the brutes were alerted before I hit the bottom of the lift, so I had to improvise a bit. Simple enough. After freeing the Marines, more Covenant are supposed to come down the main lift, but for whatever reason, they were all dead when they came down. Apparently, this was an old speedrun trick, but I don't know what I did to have it happen. I'll take it though. As far as my pace goes, I was streaming this in a voice chat with other Halo speedrunners, and I got asked a few times over the course of my Gravemind, Frog, are you just playing this for fun? So let it be repeated again that this is not the pace of a real speedrun. In the second half of the mission, there are some skips I kind of did with jumping on rocks and on top of architecture and running past enemies, but it's Gravemind, so there was still plenty of combat mixed in as well that I took my time getting through. I had a death in the mausoleum, but for the most part, the last half of Gravemind was fine. I YOLO'd the final fight against the White and Stealth Elites my first try. Gravemind was definitely the toughest level for Monopolized. I ended it with a total time of 33 minutes and 44 seconds, which I was completely fine with, and that brought my time to 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 13 seconds. With under 48 minutes left, I have 3 more levels to go. My Uprising was very interesting. So to start, I did some jumping and waiting for camo and ran past the first set of enemies. In the next room, I did a jump up, grabbed a carbine, then ran by some more enemies before head glitching and waiting for camo in the following room. This is where it gets good. So there was a jackal in the next room, and I kind of did a sword cancel and flew to the other end of the room by the door. I'm not sure if I skipped a trigger or what, but no brutes spawn in the doorway and no brutes spawn in the next room either. So just like that, I was back outside. At first, I tried to play it safe and kill everyone, then I died. So my second try, I just ran by the brutes, head glitched, camoed, then jumped up on top of the map. From here, you just run to hit the level end trigger, and that's Uprising in 3 minutes and 26 seconds, bringing my total to only 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 39 seconds. Next up, the last Master Chief level of Halo 2. High Charity has a skip called, well, HC skip, that lets you skip the entire level. I don't know how to do it, so I had to play through it. As a kid, I was always too scared to play through this level, and even as an adult, it feels unsettling, and having to run through hallways while there's flood chasing you only added to that. High Charity, though, isn't very long. It infamously was just supposed to be part of Gravemind until Bungie cut Halo 2's original ending levels and reshuffled things, so this one wasn't taking me too long to run through. Until I got to this room. This room sucks and took me a few minutes to get through. On the elevator up to the end, I made sure to grab the skull, and we are home free, never mind. Okay, now we're done, and that's High Charity in only 9 minutes and 9 seconds for a total of 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 48 seconds. We are now on to the last mission. The great journey starts with me entering the worst vehicle of all time, the Spectre. I had to restart several times because I'd entered the passenger seat by accident. We park it here out of the way so that we can get it again later for the ending where we take it into the last room and duplicate a bunch of Sergeant Johnson so they can help us kill Tartarus faster. It's really weird. Then we hijack a ghost and start driving. The door to advance won't open until the enemies are dead, but if you drive to it, then turn around and drive away, then come back, everyone will be despawned, causing it to open. In speedruns, they take the ghost through here, but I knew I had time to spare, so I decided just to take my time killing everyone. I got to free some hunters, so that was cool. Then we made it to the Scarab. After skipping the cutscene, if you immediately turn around and run back inside a bit, then come back out, you actually despawn a few Wraith pilots, which speeds up the Scarab. After getting in the Banshee, this is where we fly ahead and return to the Spectre we parked earlier. Unfortunately for me, the Spectre was not there, so I decided to improvise. I flew the Banshee to this spot, which you would normally drive the Spectre to. When the Scarab finally blows open the doors, you can fall down at this spot and teleport into the final room. And now it's boss fight time. You actually do the most damage with dual red plasma rifles, so I grabbed those, and this fight is just a matter of waiting for Johnson to take down Tartarus' shields, then lighting him up, then waiting, then shooting him some more, and so on. Alright, I'm almost to the end. I'm happy with this time. You have got to be kidding me. Okay, there we go. Tartarus is dead, and that's the great journey in 1644 for a grand total time of 2 hours, 41 minutes, 32 seconds. For you math experts out there, that's less than 3 hours, and I now have the Monopolized achievement. It didn't pop right away, though. It took a couple days. MCC moment. Halo 2's Legendary is really hard, and Monopolized was not an easy achievement to get, but as you saw, my runs were far from the cleanest or fastest out there, so don't be intimidated by the achievement. It'll take you some time, and you'll have to practice, but you can get it if you just believe in yourself and aren't completely terrible at the game. As for me, this probably isn't the last time I'll do Halo 2 speedrun related content. I want to not only beat all of these times, but crush them and do some of the actual modern routes as you're supposed to. But in the meantime, if you like this video, then click the one on screen to see how I got CE's version of Monopolized without any speedrun tricks. I'll catch you next time.